Do you guys think continuing to study nowadays is such a waste of time? This topic was familiar to me when my cousin had finished her SPM. She was feel torn. On one hand, she wants to work for a quick money, but on the other hand, there is strong desire to continue studying. But the catch is the financial constraint that make it tough for her to pursue the further education. But in the end, she made the decision to pursue the employment in a factory, which is diverging from the path of continuing her education in the course that held her passion. So this issue has been hot in the newspaper and on social media, where the most of the SPM graduates in our country are choosing not to continue their further education at the next level, either in the foundations, diploma, matriculation, or Form 6. According to the Ministry of Education, Fadlina Sidi, the statistics have shown about 115,000 SPM graduates in 2020 and about 35% who are not interested in continuing studying. However, in 2021, there have been about 180,000 SPM graduates and about 48% doesn't want to continue the study at the highest level. This statistic has shown that the number of teenagers in Malaysia who are not interested in pursuing their study is increasing year by year. Can you imagine our country in the next 10 years lacking of professional workforce because the most of the current generation are not interested in studying? This situation is really worrying because our country might be monopolized by the outsiders to take over all the professional job, where our people just stay at the lowest level of the working hierarchy. So today, I am Quwaidir Syafiq, who would like to raise the awareness among all the young generation, especially the SPM graduate, should continue their education for a brighter future. So, why do most of the young generation today choose not to continue studying? This is because they might believe the stereotype that nowadays having a lot of experience is needed in any kind of job. So they decided not to continue their studies because they think continuing study for a year is a waste of time. Yes, many of us cannot deny they are having experience in one of the criteria needed to get a job. However, someone who has experience in a higher education on their resume will find it's much easier to be accepted by the employer. The reason is that having extra knowledge for someone who is educated about their working field is a bonus for the company compared to someone who applied for the job with the zero knowledge about his working field. We, as a young adult who are just beginning their education, Chini must encourage and give them awareness of why it is important to pursue our education level because most of us has experience in the working field. So we know what is the best for us and then by having an extra ticket, which is our education qualification. As an example, from my experience in the civil engineering field, if you at least have in a diploma of civil engineering, the ticket to start your career in a position just like below the engineers, so who do not have any qualification, they will start from the below hierarchy. And furthermore, for having a higher education background, you can demand for a higher salary due to your qualification. So each payment will be paid according to your education level. But those without extra education must work harder for a certain duration to achieve the same amount of the payment as those with the education certificate. So in this studio working era, someone who has experience and education certificates is more needed by the most companies in our country. So what can we do to help these generations to become more aware of the importance of continuing study? As we can see, one of the problems is that continuing study requires a lot of money. Some of families cannot afford to bear the cost of study. also decided to start working at a young age. So we can help them by suggesting they apply for any scholarship from any government or private party in our country, such as PTPN, GPE, scholarship, scientific scholarship, and more scholarship. Today, our government has provided many education initiatives to help those who are financially challenged. Furthermore, responsible authorities must review the financial policies for students from low income and family so that this category is not left behind in education, because as we can see, more of them are intelligent and qualified to pursue this education at the highest level. Family and school also play a crucial part in encouraging our young generation to continue studying. The school, especially the Department of the Counseling and the Career, must give them early exposure to the significance of continuing studies compared to working. The school can invite any representative from any Ministry of Education or university or college to give a talk about the career and study pathway for the student, especially for the Form 5 students who will soon be pursuing their study. So by doing this, the student can do early preparation and survey about the career and the study pathway in the future. From my experience, my school will hold a career and a study event a few times by inviting the colleges and the university to open their booth in the school. So moreover, they also invited the former students who are succeeding in their careers to do a sharing session with the students. As family, parents should give support and advice for their children to continue studying. Encourage them to be more educated in the future so that they can help change his family life for the better. So parents also must accept the children's selection of the courses for studying and give them a chance to choose the pathway so that they can enjoy the study and not feel burdened when carrying the course. As I know, there are some students who face a problem learning about the course. They don't want to study because they have to follow their parents' wishes in choosing a course because they don't have the patience for it. So this is one of the reasons why most teenagers are not interested in continuing study. So let us think and imagine what would happen to our community and country if the percentage of the young people not interested in pursuing their education is increased. First of all, our young generation future will be in a worrying situation. Will they stay just doing e-hailing food delivery? At this point, we are not condemning this kind of job. This generation is our only hope for the future govern to our country. So we want the best for them. However, if our children nowadays are not interested in pursuing their studies, most of their professional jobs will be conquered by the foreigners, and our people will be left behind in the term of development and management, administration, and more. In this modern era, education and knowledge are very, very important and everything in this world. These two vital components will help us to differentiate ourselves from other people, and they also the main factors determine our future. Always give the young generation the opportunity to take part in the learning field. So the government must take action to defend our children's faith, so every single one of them can have a chance to continue studying. Having an educated generation is a blessing for the country because it has proven that our country managed to form a generation which is loaded with knowledge and useful to serve their own country. We can also serve the poverty rate percentage in our country decreasing because most of our people can get a better job and have a chance to change their life. Furthermore, our country can produce many professional and expert workforce that can serve our country and the world. This can also enhance the name of the country with their expert we have so successfully produced the international platform. To end my speech for today, I would like to highlight again the continuing study is really important nowadays. Start switching your mind that pursuing study is such a waste of money and time. We must know that having a lot of knowledge is an advantage of ourselves because people with knowledge and educations are the strong and powerful people. Moreover, in our religion, Islam also encourages its people to keep learning and search for knowledge around the world. So this shows that learning is an important thing that we as a human need to do. And we must know that learning never ends. Keep looking for a knowledge until our last breath. Thus, it is crystal clear that continuing study is an important step for the young generation, especially SPM graduates, to pursue their studies for a better future pathway. That's all from me. Thank you.